Have you made any mistakes? Have you ever thought to yourself, if only I hadn't, if only I didn't, if only I could replay that period of my life, I would do it so different. God, I got it wrong that time. How many of you got anything like that in your life? If your hand is not up, you are a liar. Because I know all of you have sinned so badly, and you have done things that you should not have done, things that you are regretful about, and all of us suffer from a level of guilt and condemnation. And these are two of Satan's most powerful weapons against Christians. Revelation 12:10. The accuser of our brethren, he accused them before our God day and night, has been cast down. Do you know he accuses you day and night at the throne of God, listing every single thing that you may have done wrong in your life? And the result of that is we feel condemned, we feel guilty. And the problem with that is it undermines our faith. It undermines our confidence, and we think, I really don't think God can bless me because of what I did yesterday or what I did this morning. I don't think God is going to answer my prayer. And we just feel really so very condemned in our life. Do you want to know something? I pray against condemnation virtually every day of my life, because it is such a powerful, I'm going to explain that to you, why I find I need to do that in my life. But the good news is this, friends, that Romans 8 verse 1 says, there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. No condemnation. And yet many of us, even sitting here today, feel guilty, we feel condemned, we feel nagged by the devil saying, you're not this, you're not good enough, you got this wrong, you got the other thing wrong. Philippians 3:13-14 says, I do not count myself to have apprehended. But one thing, everyone say one thing. This is one thing you've got to do, all right, folks? Listen carefully. One thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, and reaching forward to those things which are ahead, I press toward the goal for the prize of the upward call of God in Christ Jesus. Friends, to successfully lay hold of the future that God has got for you, you've got to leave the past behind. And we've all done things that we regret, that we wish we'd never done. But we've got to leave those things behind. You can't walk the rest of your life with a sack of potatoes on your back and try and run your race for Jesus. You cannot do it. But the good news of Easter is he's taken the sack of potatoes. He's thrown them to the bottom of the ocean where no one can ever get hold of them again and throw them in your direction. He has forgiven you, but you've got to deal with the past in order to capture the great future that God has got for you. See, friends, what we need to understand, I think it's a great problem in society and in church today, is that we are completely, totally, utterly, and absolutely and forever forgiven of every sin that we have brought to Jesus and confessed to him. We are completely forgiven. See, most of us feel somewhat forgiven. We feel, well, I'm mostly forgiven, but we don't feel, oh God, I'm just got a clean slate before you. But you actually do have that. And I want to try and convey that message to you today, because this is the message of Easter. This is the message of the resurrection, is that we are forgiven and we have got a destiny that's going to take us to an eternity in heaven. So listen to this. Brendan Manning, he writes of John 21, Peter threw himself into the water and swam as fast as he could to Jesus. Now, not many days before, this is an incredible story. He had denied Jesus 3 times. I mean, you're talking about major sin. He called down curses. Well, I don't know the man. I don't think any of us have done that. And we may take a few lies here and there and looked at something we shouldn't have looked at, but we've never denied Jesus 3 times. I don't think any of us have anyway. And I think that is major sin. And yet we find a few days after he's done that, he's in such a hurry to be with Jesus. He couldn't wait for the boat to take him there. He jumped out of the boat and he swam as fast as he could to Jesus, knowing that with Jesus, he would find complete forgiveness and acceptance, and there would be no rejection from Jesus to the man who had just denied him 3 times. Now think about that. So imagine this. I hope you don't do it, but you probably have. Imagine yesterday, you sinned. You did something you shouldn't have done. You lied. You cheated. You watched something you shouldn't have. You stole some money. As long as it wasn't mine, I don't really mind. Yeah. Or you watched some porn and you feel terrible, but you've asked Jesus to forgive you and wash you in his blood. What would you then be like? Would you be consumed with condemnation and self-hatred? Or would you jump into the water and swim at breakneck speed to Jesus, knowing he's there with open arms, ready to receive you as if you had never sinned? What would you be like? Which one would you be? Because I think most of us, we wouldn't. We'd just sort of hang back a little bit and think, oh, well, maybe, God, this is not what I should have done. And, you're not going to be as open to me and receive me as much as I would feel you should. Now, we mustn't willfully sin, but when we do, if we confess it, he forgives us. Yeah. Now, Peter, think about Peter. Peter did not spend the rest of his life walk through it with his head hung down, thinking, man, I denied Jesus 3 times. Man, I know he's forgiven me, but I just can't get over that. It's just, he didn't do that, friends. No. He walked with his head held up high because he knew he was completely forgiven. He knew he had left his past behind and he was grabbing hold of the great future that God had in store from him. And it's on people like Peter who denied the Lord 3 times that he built his church and made it a mighty force in the world, friends. And so my challenge to you, friends, is I want to say to you, don't go through the rest of your life with your head hanging down, feeling ashamed of yourself. There's so many people think, I'm guilty, I'm dirty, I'm unclean, I'm unworthy. You have no self-esteem, you have self-hatred, and your head is hung down low. But I'm here to tell you, friends, today that it's on those very people that Jesus is going to come and he's going to pick them up and they're going to be pillars in the church and a part of this end-time army of God that is going to shake this nation and the nations of the world. They're going to rise up, friends. These are the very people that Jesus is looking for. And friends, I'm one of those. I'm not going to tell you my past. It'd take too long. And anyway, Jesus can't remember it anyway. It's gone. It's gone. He can't even bring it up. If you say, Jesus, what about that sin? He'll say, what sin? Yeah. You say, well, Jesus, what about that? You know what happened to me and, when I was younger? He says, no. And he's not going to say, tell me about it. It's gone. Friends, it's gone. There is no record. Can you get it? There is no record. There is no record. There is no record. Some of you need to hear this. Some of you need to hear it. There is no record. It's gone. You can't talk to Jesus about it because he doesn't know about it. When he said, it's under the blood, as far as the east is from the west, at the bottom of the ocean. Then he put up a sign, no fishing. Yeah, that's right. Come on. There is no record. Yeah. Amen. So good. Man, I feel it. I feel it. I feel it so strong. I feel it so strong. That's why I'm just hanging on this for a few moments. Whoever you are, whatever you've done, or whatever's been done to you, there's no record on your part. There's no record. It's gone. I need to hear that. I really do. So do you. This is the power of the resurrection.